As the prophet of esports, I rely on trustworthy and meaningful data every day. Data from our research partner YouGov offers the most complete view of esports fans and gamers in the world, providing context to who they are, what they think, the brands they buy, and things they do. YouGov's connected insights and research services inform strategy at every level. If you're a team, a brand, agency, or rights holder, you should be talking with YouGov. Their partners measure and maximize ROI and are telling compelling stories with data. Visit yougov.com/gaming-esports to learn more. All right, guys, for those unfamiliar, if you're new here, our lightning round, I give all of us, actually, including myself, 30 seconds to give your quick take on a number of topics. We're going to go through these really quickly. We'll try and go in alternating order, guys. So Jimmy, then Jeff, and Jeff, then Jimmy, and I'll finish everyone. But let's start with gaming desks. Okay, let's start with an easy one. Probably Jeff's favorite here. By the way, if you go over time, you're going to hear this sound, which means you are over your time. All right, guys, here's the first story. Bifrost gaming desk lets you build your dream battle station. Now, what it is basically, it's a pegboard for those who have in your garages, like pegboards for your tools. It's like a pegboard, but for all your gaming accessories and stuff to put behind your desk, or it connects to the desk that they also sell. And you mount all your things here to it, including your Coke on the side here that mounts to the desk, and all your plants and Nintendo and everything else, all your accessories. Love, hate, think this is great. By the way, you can hide all your cables too. We haven't seen much innovation in gaming desks. We talk a lot about gaming chairs. Jimmy, you love this gaming desk concept?
Yeah, I'm a fan of organization in general. I got some pretty gnarly OCD, and my things have to be a certain way. This kind of reminds me of the IKEA one, strangely enough. But for anyone that's watching, it looks really cool. If you're listening, check them out. I think it's hard to find, or I would be hard to find someone that doesn't think this looks cool. But I would definitely use this, and especially if they send me one for free. Bifrost. Look it up.
Jeff?
I like this a lot. I mean, it's good for accessorizing. I can accessorize all my pens, maybe hang them on the wall. I'd be very excited about that. I'm just going to need to hire a TaskRabbit because I'm not very handy, so no way I can put that together myself. But I like it. I like it a lot.
I think it's so cool, guys. Desk innovation. We may have to get on board with desk reviews the same way we're the official gaming chair reviewer of esports. I think we need to get on board with some desk reviews if we start seeing some innovation there. All right, let's get to a more serious one. This one's cool. Motorsport Games partners with Romain Grosjean to assist in the development of R Factor 2 and esports events. Joining as a technical advisor, Grosjean will help iterate R Factor 2 and the company's robust live esports events. This is really cool. Motorsport Games makes racing games, partnering with a real ex-F1 driver at this point. Curious what you guys think, but also, why don't we see this more in like real sports games, like other sports titles? Like they're other than the name, you never hear about them partnering with like an actual athlete to make the game better. Jeff, start with you.
Yeah, I think this is a great example. I mean, motorsports is definitely one of it's the esport that probably has the most crossover between the actual sport and the video game. I think we've even done stories in the past where like motorsport athletes end up crossing over into the real thing, which I think is always pretty neat to see. So good on motorsports, obviously, leaning into that. I think R Factor 2 is a pretty impressive game. In terms of simulation, it's probably the best out there, and definitely exciting to bring him on board.
Jimmy?
Yeah, to your point, it's like, why isn't anyone else doing this? I've said before, and I'm going to say again, is I think just the way the racing community has embraced esports is really how it should be done. You don't see a lot of other sports, other traditional meat sports that are really leaning into this movement, to this community, or to the technology and the overlapping that are readily available, as well as the racing community has. So hats off to Motorsport here. Maybe they'll get Lewis Hamilton next year. I just had to say that for Paul's benefit.
It's F1.
Is this working?
Oh, Lewis is the one with the bulldog, right? Yeah, he's the best. Order in
the court. I'm good on who they picked here. I think Romain is a great F1 driver. Unfortunately, whose career ended, not in not the most great way, in a very fiery crash. Yeah. And it's nice to see sort of a second life in esports for these guys. And I think big pickup for Motorsport, right? That's just a totally. Really big name, really, really big name. It's the equivalent of having, like maybe like a Tom Brady, right? There's only 20 F1 drivers in the world at any one time. So any of these guys are pretty big names. So big pickup. I like to see this. Hopefully R Factor 2 is even better, right? This can only make the game better. So very cool. All right, guys, let's talk about Amazon. I have 2 Amazon stories, so we're going to do these back to back here. The first one, maybe less good news. The second one, I think more good news. And the headline here, Amazon Game Studio head Frazzini steps down. So the head of Amazon Game Studio stepping down. He's leaving to focus on his family. He said supposedly he was there at the beginning of Amazon Games. He was involved with New World, Lost Ark. Obviously, there was a very nice letter saying they wish him all the best, thankful for his contributions, etc. What do you guys think of this? Amazon Game Studio has had a checkered, call it, history, right? Is this a bad sign? Do we buy that it's about family? Is it just burnt out after, all the ups and downs of being at Amazon Game Studio? Curious what you make of this, Jimmy. Go ahead.
I want to draw everyone's attention to the Business of Esports episode with Facebook Gaming's head of strategy and operations, John Pan. Before he was with Facebook, John was actually over at Amazon. And because of a lot of the red tape on the things that he was and wasn't able to say, given his posting at Facebook, we actually talked a lot about his time with Amazon, about his time with Riot, and it was a really fun episode. I also teach with John at University of California, Irvine in their esports track. Episode 178. Sorry, Paul, I'm using all my time here. It's a dumpster fire, stay away. I have to stick to it. Stay away. I'll be quick. There you go. Episode 178.
Sorry, lost track. That was a great shout out for John Penn. Start my time over. I feel like I didn't.
I'm resetting the clock. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I believe this. I think Mike Frazzini, I think he's been there for quite some time, and if I recall, he wasn't always in gaming, so he's had a pretty long and distinguished career at Amazon. I assume probably made a lot of money. So guys like that tend to retire. I do remember there was a bunch of some negative articles kind of around maybe his leadership and maybe a lack of understanding of the gaming market prior to the last couple Amazon releases, which have obviously done a lot better. It's a big job in the industry. It'll be interesting to see who takes it. I mean, it's a huge opportunity. Andy Jassy, the current CEO, has said games are a priority. So this is going to be a big, high-paying job for someone. Curious to see who takes the lead.
Any theories?
How did I get the bell? And this is like the longest thing ever.
I mean,
I caught myself
I'm not
listening
going to say
to
the juice. Legally, I can't say the juice, but they're people. They can call my people. I'm happy at GMBL, but Amazon is Amazon.
Yeah, I mean, I wish him the best. Obviously, hope it was a mutually agreed upon kind of departure. I just think because of how much New World failed with so much potential, I think new leadership was needed, right? They had a potential gold mine with New World, and I don't know how they messed that up. I mean, I do know how they messed that up, but so much potential there. I think new blood will hopefully bring new ideas and new approaches. And, Amazon has all the resources in the world to make great games. So hopefully they do.